That's how long it takes us to produce 400,000 kilograms of waste, an astronomical figure which amounts to over 2 trillion kilograms a year. In Qatar, this problem is more relevant than ever. With one of the highest waste generation rates per capita, yet one of the smallest land areas, our responsibility is of utmost importance. So the main issue that we're facing here is that we cannot keep up with the rate at which solid waste is being produced. Landfills all around the world are being filled over capacity, and we're also seeing increases in air pollution, soil and water contamination, as well as climate change, all of which are being exacerbated by poor waste management.
This is a perspective, we're currently overusing the earth at 175%, meaning that we need 0.75% other planets to support our resource consumption. And by 2030, which by the way is in 7 years, we'll need 2 other planets. Fortunately though, this is not unnoticed by the responsible entities. For instance, the Belediya, an Indonesian municipality, has set up numerous waste management protocols ranging from collecting and upcycling large items like used furniture, to collecting and properly disposing of deceased animals, to providing rainwater removal services for areas of need. The Minister of Environment and Climate Change has made it clear that environmental development, specifically sustainable waste management, is a pillar of the national vision for 2030. Moreover, the Minister of Municipality has launched Zero Waste Campaign, which tackles root problems like the overconsumption and overproduction of big corporations in Qatar through organising and hosting events and projects that promote the goal. In line with the 2030 National Vision and the 2022 World Cup, Qatar has vowed to recycle 60% of the waste produced over the World Cup, but actually, good news, we've made it to 80% of the waste that has been recycled successfully, which made us break the record for the first ever Copa-Neutral FIFA World Cup, hosted the first ever Arab country to host the World Cup. As part of our research, we've conducted a survey, an interview, and used local case studies and research articles to find the best way to move forward as an environmentally informed, sustainable, and responsible society.
So we decided to embark the research journey by first looking into both local and international research articles. And they were primarily focusing on Qatar in order to just gain a sort of deeper understanding of the current waste management system we have right now, which is mainly incineration and also dumping it in landfills. And one of the case studies we reviewed was actually published by the Ministry of Development and Statistics, and they mentioned that as the population increased between 2008 and 2020, so did the overall amount of domestic waste produced. And at the same time, another case study published by Hamad bin Khalifa University, they mentioned that only 10 to 15% of these wastes are being recycled. So in order to get to the root of the issues and figure out why this is happening, we decided to distribute questionnaires to people between the ages of 16 to 60 to figure out if there was any demotivating factors that are causing this.
So, in our questionnaire, we had both Qatar residents and international respondents, but all of the results that are shown in this presentation is only for the Qatari residents. And we focused on the knowledge that Qatar residents had on waste management and any factors that correlate to the participation of the process.
Okay, so our survey shows some interesting results. 54% of our respondents said they did not have direct access to recycling bins, but 80% believed it would be the most beneficial way to improve waste management. So this discrepancy tells us 2 things. One is that people don't have accessibility. We need to improve the accessibility. And secondly is that it's not a lack of awareness. It's not a lack of motivation. It's just people don't have a convenient means to carry out more sustainable practices. It therefore makes sense that 43% rate the general waste management in their area of 5 or less out of 10. That's just because there's a resounding belief that alternative methods of disposal, such as recycling, as mentioned previously, would yield better results.
So, as you can see, that 60% of believe that plastic is the most produced waste in domestically in their households, making it one of the major focuses that there needs to have in the future projects. And food waste and paper, like cartons, are also with very high percentages. And this actually correlates with the most practiced waste management activities in a domestical environment. And this indicates that the residents of Other do have a sense of responsibility for the environment, and they embrace their role in our society. We also we asked in our survey how near their public recycling facilities were, and compared them with the general waste disposals. So as you can see, 54% do not directly have access to recycling bins near their house, and this may correlate and may act as a demotivating factor towards recycling, and which may cause them to rather not recycle. And at the end of our survey, we basically just asked other residents in general whether they were satisfied with Other's approach towards waste management, and 64% were not, and therefore 64% of Other's residents from our survey believe that Other was not on track to fulfill their National Vision 2030.
In order to further solidify our research, we interviewed the director of Doha Environmental Access Project, Mr. Jose, in order to find out about his opinions, his professional opinions, on whether Qatar is on the right track to reaching its 2030 national vision. Now, Mr. Jose emphasized the importance of fostering a sustainability mindset in Qatar's community and recycling in order to reduce the amount of waste that ends up being in landfill sites. Additionally, he is expecting the Baladia to be constructing one of the biggest waste facilities, which he thinks is going to increase the capacity for recycling. Lastly, investigations on the efficacy of various methods of waste disposal, annual monitoring of waste production and consumption in Qatar, and looking into the work done in other sustainable countries such as Germany or Australia is very important for the future development of waste management in Qatar. Thank you everyone for listening.